I do not recommend trying to start or manifest anything you want to be stable or chill under this new moon. Expect chaos and whatever does begin around this new moon to be super volatile and random. So even though this is technically a new moon, I would not use it to start anything new. So if you are excited to get into what exactly we can expect from this Scorpio new moon, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. If you're new here, hi, I'm Maren. I make videos on astrology, and if you want a reading from me, you can check that out in the link below. When this video comes out, I will not be taking any readings because I will be busy for all of November, very importantly, like super, super busy, but December onward, I will be accepting new clients. So we're going to get into what this new moon means for everyone, and then we will get into what it means specifically for you based on your rising sign. So this is happening on November 19th, 2025 at 10:47 p.m. Pacific time. So super early, technically in the morning if you are on the East Coast, but overall, generally, it's happening the night of the 19th. And new moons are when the sun and the moon are together. It is the beginning of the lunar cycle. It is when the moon is invisible in the sky, it's dark, and it's kind of like the seeds are being planted for something that you're cultivating and growing throughout the rest of the lunar cycle. So with there being a new moon in Scorpio, that is always a more emotionally intense beginning because the moon is in its fall in Scorpio. Basically, and by the way, if I'm like really like congested or sniffling, I got like an insane allergy attack today and I've just been sneezing all day, so I apologize if I'm sniffling or like my nose is running or whatever, disclaimer. But basically, the moon is in its fall in Scorpio because it is exalted in the opposite sign of Taurus. So whenever a planet is opposite the sign that it is exalted in or lifted up very positively, it shows that it is at an uncomfortable disadvantage or does not mix easily with the significations of the sign. So the moon is our emotions, feelings, and the like collective psyche at the time, and Scorpio is fixed water. It is very deep, intense, extreme, and can fixate. So the moon in Scorpio as a collective transit, which in your natal chart, there are other mitigating factors. It's more complex. Don't like be sad if you have the moon in Scorpio, but as a collective transit, a moon in Scorpio, particularly a new moon in Scorpio, can be a very internally reflective, intense time. And this is happening at 28 degrees, so it's at the very end in the third decan of Scorpio. So all of Scorpio is ruled by Mars, which is a sign of aggression and conflict and work. But this end, has a little bit of Venus rulership. So it's associated with the Seven of Cups tarot card, also known as the Lord of Delusion. And when this card comes up or this part of the sky is activated, it can reflect themes of desire or fear that are not actually reflected in reality, or you being worried about or excited about something that does not exist or will not happen. So this new beginning and whatever you are preparing for to start is probably literally not what's going to happen. It's not, if you're dreaming, that's not what's going to happen. If you're scared, that's not what's going to happen. So like neither your fears or your excitement is really together with clarity. This is also tightly conjunct Mercury retrograde exactly at 28 degrees. So Mercury retrograde in Scorpio right now shows that communication, travel, and planning things could be particularly difficult or convoluted, and there could be plenty of miscommunications or issues with plans and getting together with others. Now, with this conjunct Mercury retrograde, there's a very good chance that the matter at hand or the events around this new moon are going to be defined by their miscommunication or defined by the changes and the misunderstandings that you're going to have to work around. There is a tight opposition at Uranus retrograde, newly back in Taurus at 29 degrees. So with the new moon, exactly conjunct Mercury retrograde opposite Uranus. Uranus is the planet of volatility, chaos, disruption, randomness, and experimentation. So anytime there's an opposition to Uranus, it's like, okay, get ready for a 180-degree surprise out of nowhere to disrupt the shit out of whatever you're doing. So new moon in Scorpio already like, okay, emotionally deep. Conjunct Mercury retrograde, okay, miscommunications, not planning well, surprise kind of changes. Opposite Uranus, all bets are fucking off. Chaos, randomness, whatever you have no way of conceptualizing will happen is what's going to happen. The most out there, not what you're used to, random shit. So that's why I'm saying, you think that this is going to be in your 7th house and you're planning a date or whatever. Bitch, stay home, lock your doors, basically. I'm kidding. It's not that intense, but like it's random. Maybe it's that intense, but like I exaggerate. This is also conjunct Lilith within 2 degrees at 26 degrees. And I don't talk about Lilith a lot because I think it's overly hyped, dramatized, and not always relevant. But Lilith can represent a creative feminine or powerful feminine energy that is fairly dark or witchy. And so this can show that the concepts around this new moon, there's a feeling of like magic or the occult involved in whatever's beginning. And it's also loosely conjunct Venus at 16 degrees of Scorpio. So with Venus there, loosely, there's a little bit of relationship focus or harmony involving others. Now, the fact that this is opposite Uranus, Mercury retrograde, it doesn't make me recommend that you involve other people in anything, but with Venus there is likely to be a getting along with others that is current even with the chaos. There's a trine from the new moon to Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, and there's also a trine to Jupiter in Cancer, which makes a grand water trine. So there is a lot of creative or spiritual alignment here, particularly with intuition and also stability and realism. So you might feel as if the events are rather chaotic, but you have it under control and you're gonna ride through this and be okay, and that luck is on your side. I don't know about luck being on your side on this day, but I do think that you will probably have a higher feeling of alignment around the larger plan. So whatever it is that's happening, however this shows up in your life, do not be surprised if it is utter chaos and surprise out of nowhere. Like, do not come back saying, I told you so, because I literally have warned you. If you already have a comment or anything to share about this happening on this date or what you are expecting, do let me know in a comment down below. I'm very curious to what you are preparing or thinking about for this new moon. Now let's get into what this means for each of the rising signs and what you can expect to show up in your life in your chart. So Scorpio risings, this is in your first house of self. This is all about your appearance, your personality, and who you are having a new beginning. So if you are deciding to like change your appearance or start something new, do it, but be careful because it might not have the reaction or the end result that you want. For Sagittarius risings, this is in your 12th house of mental health. So you could be starting something like yoga, meditation, or a treatment plan to better your mental health. For Capricorn risings, this is in our 11th house of networking, groups, or friends. So this could be the start of joining a group of people or the start of something that will reach a community around you and involve other people. If you are an Aquarius rising, this is in your 10th house of career. So you could feel as if you are starting something new around work, your job opportunity, or, a professional new chapter for you. Pisces risings, this is in your 9th house of long distance travel or higher education. So you may be starting to study something new and enrolling in like college, university, or something that's like a course of study. Or you could be traveling or deciding to embark on a trip soon that would be very long distance. If you are an Aries rising, this is happening in your 8th house of shared finances or investments. So you could be starting to invest or starting to put money into a shared account or buy something. It's a new beginning with shared finances or long-term investments. If you are a Taurus rising, this is in your 7th house of committed relationships or partnerships. So you could have a new relationship start or suddenly sign a contract or be involved with someone in a way that brings you two closer together. If you are a Gemini rising, this is in your 6th house of physical health or coworkers. So some of you could be starting something that is good for your health, like a diet, exercise, or health treatment plan, or you could be hiring people and starting something new with people that work for or around you. If you are a, Cancer rising, sorry, it's been a long day. This is in your 5th house of dating and creativity. So for you guys, this is about fun and creativity, and you could be starting something new that is artistic, creative, or you could be starting to date someone new and have a romantic involvement. For Leo risings, this is in your 4th house of home or family, so you could be starting something new where you live, like renovating or touching up your place, or you could be moving somewhere new and starting that. If you are a Virgo rising, this is in your 3rd house of communication, productivity, and day-to-day tasks. So you could be starting something new with writing content or something you know that you'll be working on daily. And if you are a Libra rising, this is in your 2nd house of income. So you are probably starting to make money or make an income stream in a certain way for the first time. But I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this shares a little bit about what to expect for this chaotic ass new moon. If you have anything to add or anything to comment, I do read them and would appreciate to hear from you. I hope that you survive and take care.